Good morning, everybody. Natasha Denman here. I am very excited for a brand new week starting today. Lots to do here at Denman HQ. Hope you had a nice weekend, whatever you were doing with your families at home. I must say, we are in a routine. It does feel very natural for us to be at home as much as we are. So this morning, the live is coming to you an hour earlier than normal because I've got some conversations with people over in the US at 9 o'clock. So we have our mornings have been action packed and super, super busy. And then we kind of finish for the day around 2 o'clock. So this morning, I thought I'd talk about a topic that comes up a lot around the people that I meet, the people that I'm helping, and something that I think there's a big fear around. Good morning, Jane, and I can see Dr. Joe and Lillian from the US. So great to have you guys on the call. So many people come up to me, probably one in every two, and say to me, "Oh my God, Nat, the one thing that I have a fear about doing this is technology, and technology, I just don't get it. It's so time consuming. Other people know how to do it, but I'm so fearful of it." And so people can see me and they can have these assumptions that, "Oh, you're so good at it, you're so fast at it," and all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't always like that, guys. I also had to learn and muck around and all that kind of stuff. So there you go. Your whole life is now about technology supporting your staff of 60. Yeah, Jane. So however, it is the way of the future. So the quicker we embrace it and the quicker we can make it a part of our life, it can mean that we can save so much. We can become more productive, we can look more professional, we can create automation around what we're doing, and certainly we can help our staff to be able to do it. So this live this morning is going to be about how some practical things, and I guess seeing things in hindsight of how I've been able to become comfortable with technology could help those of you who perhaps are going, "Nah, I'm not going there, it's just too scary," and all that sort of stuff. So here we go. I've got about 10 or 12 different points, and we'll go through them, and whatever you can take away from it, just do it. Okay, so number one thing about how to get better at technology, if it's not your thing, is actually to start playing. Yeah, to start mucking around, to click things and to explore and test stuff, because if you haven't really set it up properly, you can't really break anything, right? So when I download a new app, or I invest in to use a particular platform, I just muck around and play. Click this, do this, delete that. Just have a look at the capacity and what does this button and what does this area do and what does it say, and try to figure out if you can understand what all of that means, and take your time. Don't do it at a time where it's peak hours in your business, so you need to be with clients and the phones are ringing. Perhaps the best time to do and get familiar with a tool or a technology, new technological software or whatever you want to call it, is in the off peak times, when you can just kind of, the phones are not going to ring, it's not going to be, core 9 to 5 hours Monday to Friday, but it's going to be evenings and weekends. And yes, when you begin, I don't care if you lose your weekends and your evenings. This is for you to ultimately win back and have that ability to be more productive and more automated, so you can win back the lifestyle that you've created your business around, right? But in the early days, you've got to invest the extra time. You don't only work 9 to 5, you then work 5 till 9. And learning technology is about putting in those extra hours in 5 to 9 to figure out how to use certain platforms. Once you get familiar, you click, 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 you get through it so quick, but initially it takes a lot more time. So play around with the tools that you have progressed to use, right? Number two is expect that it will take you more time at the front end. People say, "Oh my God, it's so consuming." It's only time consuming at the beginning, right? When you're new, as my mum is famous to saying, every beginning is hard, right? And of course, it's going to take you 50 times longer to do something, but know and expect that you will win back that time with it in automation, with productivity, with looking more professional, and it'll save you time at the back end. So the front end, just like getting the rocket off the ground, it requires a lot more energy, time, effort, and all that sort of stuff. But at the back end, you'll be smooth sailing and on cruise control. Okay, so it will take you a lot more time. You wouldn't believe how I was trying to figure out how to build my own website and do things that I couldn't afford to outsource to other people, but all I did was just play around. So just expect that it's going to take you a lot more time and effort at the front end, but ultimately the goal is at the back end, that it's all set up, you understand and you know what you're talking about, and you can use it. Once you have got your core techie tools that are running your business and you understand how to use them, then it's a lot easier when you actually add on another tool and another tool. And what you'll start to notice is that with technology, things kind of work in a similar fashion, in a similar way. You'll start to understand some foundational principles about what something means, and within each platform, there's similarities of where, how profiles look and the capability of profiles. Hey, Joy, great to have you on the live this morning. We're coming through an hour earlier, but that's okay. Number 3, watch tutorial videos. YouTube is absolutely filled with the answers to how to do things on particular platforms. How do I edit a movie in iMovie? How do I, I have a lot of, sometimes when I use Xero, my accounting platform, I didn't know how to process a refund. How do I process a refund in Xero? Boom, there's a video on YouTube and it shows me what to do, and I go and copy that video. It's really helpful if you can have 2 screens happening. I've got my little laptop down here, then I've got my big desktop here, and whenever I need to work on stuff, it's nice if you can watch a video on one and follow it on the other one. And I constantly do similar videos for my own clients when I need them to do something, because visually it's a lot easier to follow them. Good morning, Jody, as well. Hey, Mila, nice to see you as well. So really, really important. Use the wealth of resources within YouTube to Google tutorial videos on how to get stuff done. All right, number 5, number 4, show and tell with friends going through the same programs. Okay, I love this. Francesca and I, use very similar platforms, and if we get stuck on something, we'll go, oh, sis, have you done this before? Does this program have this capability, and or did you know that this program can do such and such? Oh my God, it's the best discovery. And then you share with friends the things you've discovered and the hot stuff, because a lot of techie platforms and tools and apps and all that kind of stuff have so many other things than what we're aware of. Even Facebook, I don't even know everything about Facebook, and it's got so many new things that are being popped in there that you can do now within groups. You can have bold headlines. You didn't used to schedule posts, now you can schedule posts, and all of these things get added in that we sometimes are not aware of, because there's just everything is moving along so quickly and rapidly. And obviously the creators of these platforms are constantly putting in upgrades and making the product more user friendly. So talking to friends about, did you know that Facebook's got this thing? Like last week when we did our live, I don't know if you remember, if you were on the live, but what happened was there's this live producer platform now that I tested using, which looked completely different to what I'm using now, because this is actually the look that I've been used to so much right now. So I actually didn't even like the feel of it, but maybe I'll go back and test it out again. So talk, show and tell with friends, or what's a cool thing you have found about social media now? What's a cool thing you've found about such and such, if there's similar platforms that you actually use together. Good morning for those of you that have joined just now. All right, next one is do the free trainings that most companies of these platforms actually offer. So Zero has free trainings and webinars that they do. Every company that has got a technological software program tool generally will have its own training for, getting started, a one-on-one and all that kind of stuff. Good morning, Lucy. I don't like the new one either. Yeah, Joy. I was lost. Maybe because it's new or unfamiliar that we don't like it. We don't know where the things are. So therefore, that's why we don't like this live producer. But yeah, I just got totally confused and I'm like going back to the old one right now. So the other day I didn't even realize that on Zoom you can actually change your background, right? And you can have these, like, the Golden Gate Bridge, or you're in space or whatever it is. Like, how do you do that? And we were on a Friday night drinks with my authors. Like, we've started doing these Zoom drinks every Friday night after a big week of being in the businesses and doing our live stuff, so just to relax. And people were changing. Go, how do people do that? Is this part of Zoom? And I realized that it was a new update that I had not been aware of myself, even though I used the platform for like 5 or 6 years. And then in addition to that, I learned from a speaking buddy of ours from the Professional Speakers Association that you can actually upload your slides for a presentation, and you can run your actual PowerPoint presentation behind you. And that was to do with that background and all that. So then there's kind of like tips, and you watch out for what people are saying, and if you talk to someone regularly who uses the same platform, why not share those kind of little tools in between one another? Okay, so you get good by doing it consistently and with repetition. Okay, repetition is the mother of all skill, as they say, and technology is no different to mastering any other tool. If you want to learn how to juggle, you're gonna have to drop a lot of freaking balls, and this is why I say you don't break it. You got to play with it, play with it, play with it, play with it, and then with repetition and consistency, you know exactly where to click. You're almost like automatically going to places, and then people watch you and go, how did I do it so quickly? Oh, they're so good about technology. But at the beginning, you were like, click, read. Click, read. I made a mistake. Go back to the beginning. And it's like that slow motion movie. But because of repetition and consistency, you become a lot better. Okay. Remember, you don't need to know everything about a program. You need to know the things to use it, and then you can stretch yourself. So the basics and the one-on-one stuff is, you don't need to know absolutely everything. I use many programs where I know I'm not using them to their full capacity, but that's the same thing. Like, if you think about within your businesses, when someone works with you, especially when I think about my author program, I have so much within this program. Like, there's so many resources, so many trainings that are coming up live, ones that are recorded. And some people, when they join us, just purely use the system and they write their book in 48 hours and they get on with it and don't touch any of the other information. Whereas other people who come on, they consume absolutely everything, or they really love one thing and not other things. And that's the same thing with technology, guys. You don't have to use absolutely everything in a platform for you to be competent at using it and actually making it be useful to your business. Then you write down what you did and sell that as the how-to training. Yeah, Jody, all the time. Like, when I use other platforms, like the Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, or your or setting up Ingram Spark or Dropbox and all that. I actually, because my authors are so scared of stuff, then if I record screenshot videos on how to do things and then send it to them, then I'm making their life easier instead of having to search for stuff on the internet, which is what I'm telling you here. But it's really, really important that people within, if you need to help your clients with technology, because I actually think about 20% of our time in terms of supporting customer service for our clients is IT support. Okay, and in every business nowadays, that's going to become more and more the case the more we are online, and we're dealing with half people who are confident and competent, and other half who are fearful and incompetent around this. Yeah. Good morning, Moana. That's me. Click here in. Yeah, oops. Yeah, but as long as you're clicking, click away, guys. That you can't break it. It'll give you an error message or whatever it is. And when you're learning it at the beginning, you can't break anything because it's not even set up properly. So you just may as well click and learn. All right. Ask those that run a similar business model to you what they use. So this is where you what kind of tools should you be using in your business? Let's say you don't have much technological savviness or tools set up. Like the main ones, I'll tell you guys the main ones we use. We use obviously Facebook. Facebook is again a technology. You need to know how to use it a lot and do a live stream. You need to know how to set up a group. There's a lot of actually technology on how your profile needs to be set up correctly. So let's say the social media platforms that you use. For us, it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, but Facebook is the main one. Then we've got our team communication platform, which is Slack. Then we've got our project management platform, which is Asana. And then we have got our customer relationship management system, which is Active Campaign. What else? What other main ones? Of course, we're using Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook. All of those, again, are systems that you need to be aware, comfortable with. Oh, ClickFunnels, our where we send Facebook ads in our funnels and pages that get bums on seats to our seminars and all that. That's a whole other beast that thankfully Stuart and my VA Lindy know how to control and go in there and get all the numbers. And then Stripe is connected to ClickFunnels, and Stripe is the payment gateway that we use to get payments. Yeah. And yes, thank God, goodness for technology, because if it wasn't technology nowadays, many of us would be very, very bored at home and also unable to continue running our businesses. So if you're in the place where you can run your business, now is the time that you need to focus on building up. I learned extra platforms just in the last 2 weeks to mastering Calendly in terms of like how I connect my bookings for my chats and what questions I have and how does that link up to the website and how does that send people reminders before the call. And I'm so grateful that I actually have spent the time, and I still go in there now, play around to go, oh, what else haven't I found out about this, and what else do I need to know? So find out from people who are running a similar business model, what tools do they use and what works really well. Because as I mentioned Francesca earlier, it is from her that I found out about Asana and Slack, and I didn't know, and then I started playing around because I also see her as someone who's even more tech savvy and more interested in what are the new things and what are the new tools that are coming out. Some people have a natural born interest when it comes to technology and the things that they try out. She's always, I'll test this and how does it work and how will it make me better, because she's all about automation. And then I'll get to hear from it and go, okay, I'll test that. I'm not as full on trying on so many different things, but at least she's done the research, and then I can go, okay, well, this works really well. Let's see if we can implement it in our business. So utilize your business buddies who have similar business models, so you're not wasting your time. Because in terms of, is there choice out there to use technology and tools and hacks and apps and software programs and all that? Yes, there is so much. Even just like, what customer relationship management system do I choose? Like, there's so many of them. There's the MailChimps, the Active Campaign, the Infusionsoft, Entreport. Like, oh God, I think there's like so many. There's the main ones, and then there's like other ones that also have their differentiating point of difference. So really, really important to talk to people around you and see what works well and what their experience was, so that you don't have to waste your time learning so many different things. You love iMovie too. Yeah, iMovie. Yeah, there's another thing. So I just blurted out the common 12 to 15 things that I'm using on a daily basis to deliver what I do. Because if you're doing stuff online and you're a content, like if you're a speaker or a coach or a consultant and all that, you need to embrace those things, because that is how you will be able to also push out your information. YouTube is another big one. YouTube has been like totally the place where I got more than 1,000 videos, and how they're neatly organized and how they're put together, so that it almost works as a bit of a membership area for my clients. All right, the next one is, let me see here. Remember, your life will be easier due to putting in the time to implement technology with what you do. Yeah, you have to always remember that delayed gratification. I know the instant pain of learning it and being uncomfortable with it is really, really annoying, but it's so, so important to look at the long term when you are all sorted out, when you are using all of these, you're going from one to the other with confidence and ability to control them, right, rather than them controlling you, right? Because that's what you feel like in the beginning. It's gonna get me, it's gonna get me. But no, it you can control it and feel confident with it, and that time will come. You use Google Drive, storage, Dropbox. I'm a Dropbox girl. That maybe because that's what I've been using for 8 years, and that's what I'm comfortable with. And that's another one. There you go. So the iCloud storage system, is it going to be Google Drive? Is it going to be Dropbox? It's good. There's other ones out there too. Again, choices, choices, choices. So true. The best thing I ever set up was my scheduler. Yeah, it's so powerful to have automation around all of those things. Excellent. What's next? Get your staff to learn a tool and then teach you the essentials. Yeah, so when you have got if you have a virtual assistant, so Lindy often knows some little tips and tricks around particular platforms or how to use it more effectively and faster, and I'll say, show me how to do this. Or I might say to her, learn this. Or I record a lot of video tutorials for my team, so that I don't have to keep repeating myself. Yeah. So if I don't have to repeat myself, I'll just go, here's the video tutorial, and we keep it in Dropbox in a folder called video trainings. And if they ever need to refer back to it, or if I jump on Zoom with them and I go, okay, I just need you to do something for me, but before we do anything, please click record on Zoom, and I'm going to show you what I need to do. So as I'm telling them for the first time, or I'm delivering the training, they're recording it, and I don't need to repeat myself a second time. So utilize your time. Figure out how you're not doubling up on the work, and ask your people to learn certain things. I know Viv the other day discovered that we no longer need to physically post in books to the National Estate Libraries, and she found this system where they actually go in and actually prefer to receive them electronically. And so Viv discovered it, went in there, created an account for us, figured it all out, and all of a sudden we've saved ourselves time, because we don't need to now be collecting books from authors, getting physical, then going to the post office, and we save money because we don't need to post them out, because I was posting 10 books, and whenever I get to a 10 lot of published books, then I'll send 10 to the National Library, 10 to the State Library, and all that sort of stuff. But now there's no need to do anymore. Save time, save money, because we discovered there's a tool online, which is actually the National Estate Library wants the books received in that way. They prefer, that's their preference. And we read up on, about it. And again, it's a technological system. We have a login, and we know actually, and we recorded exactly how to upload and submit a book. And then guess what? That video was given to my virtual assistant, Lindy, and she now does all the books. I don't even have to do anything. So for 2 hours worth of mucking, Viv discovering it, then us together mucking around, figuring out how to submit a book. And the first book we did was Viv's book. And then we said to Lindy, boom, now what do I have in the cupboard? Let's see. These books haven't been submitted yet. Let's go and let's get them done. And we got them done. And that task is now automated and actually gets done faster and quicker. It's off our plate, instead of me having my cupboard stacking up the books as they're coming in and giving them to my mum to go to the post office and post them. And of course, spending the money on packaging and postage as well, which was, over a year would add up to close to $500, if not more. So there you go. So let's recap in the last 5 minutes. minutes on the tips that I gave you throughout this call on how to get better at technology if it's not your strong point. All right, so here we go. Number one was start playing. You can't break things, play around and expect you will need to spend more time at the front end. Expect that you will win at the back end with automation, professionalism, and time-saving tools. Number three was watch tutorial videos. YouTube is filled with them. And you will be able to figure out a lot of things how you need to get them done through the YouTube. Number four was show and tell with friends going through the same programs. Maybe they know hacks that you're not yet aware of. Number five was do the free trainings most companies offer to learn their system or their program. All right, number six, you get good by doing it consistently and repetition. Remember, repetition is the mother of all skill, and you're going to be flying through technology when you have put in the time, and make sure that you're learning it in the off-peak hours, not in peak business hours. All right, number 7, 6, 7, I don't know which one was. Remember, you don't need to know everything. You can use a tool without knowing its full capacity of what it does. Number 8, ask those that run a similar business model to what they use. Save time on the research of what you should use. Number 9, remember your life will be easier due to putting in the time to implement technology and what you do. And voila, the last one is get your staff to learn a tool and teach you the essentials if you have the ability to have the stuff. So there you go. Great idea, yeah, exactly. National and state library routes. So those kind of things, we discover little, if you actually look at things that are relevant to your business, make sure that you that you encourage other people to find easier, faster ways of getting things done as you go through. And if you're passionate about your business, doing this research and figuring out how to do stuff, it's not going to be hard. It's going to be actually super rewarding, and you'll be so proud of yourself. Good morning, Andrea. All right, guys. So I know this morning's live came an hour earlier, as I have some more conversations with USA authors to be, which is really, really exciting. I will go across to my secret authors group to do a live for them now, and I hope whatever you're doing that you're utilizing to upskill yourself right now in this current climate, and that you're keeping well, they're working in your mindset, you're staying in routine. Really, really important to get up, get dressed, do your exercise, put your makeup on, get into the zone, because I definitely still know what day of the week it is, because yesterday totally felt like a Sunday in the weekend, and today is like any other Monday, doing the lives and staying in routine and on top of things. So if there is a topic, where is the how-to file? Please, missed that. What else? I don't know what you mean by the how-to file, but what I'll do, guys, is the 10 things that I just blurted out. Obviously, I have them here in my on my little notes, which is where I prepare my live. So I'm going to paste for you the 10 different bullet points, if you like, of what I just discussed in detail. If you've joined the call late, then go back to the beginning when I close it off and listen to some of the ideas behind it, because my wish and desire is for everyone to be on top of technology, so that we can even work faster and more effective amongst each other, and get on with it and deal with higher quality problems after that. So have an amazing week and go and smash it out. Bye.